Hey guys, some people have suggested I make a quick video on just how I organize my TTM. So I'm down in my basement where I have my little TTM station. I have a corner bookcase that I actually pulled from the trash. I have my envelopes down below, baby powder for glossy cards. But what I do is basically, having been doing this for pretty close to 16 years consistently, you get a kind of feel for who signs after you see multiple and multiple and multiple returns. So over the years, I've just pulled those cards, junk wax cards. So what I did is I alphabetized them and then put them into 5,000 count boxes. So you can see, like, if we do M's, I've got a ton of Mike Marshalls. That's Rick Manning. Marcotte, Mike Marshall, Mike Marshall, Mike Marshall, Mike Marshall, Mike Marshall. So you can see, and I go through. My criteria for it is basically if they signed in the last 3 years at this point, and after they haven't signed for about 4 or 5 years, I'll pull them out. So it's a lot of cards. I also have cards waiting to be alphabetized and entered in. And one of the questions is, how does this keep you organized? Well, first, it's easy to find the cards. You know where exactly they are. But there's so many cards. How do I know? Well, I've done 2 things, and it takes time. So if you're going to be as crazy as me, it's going to take some time. First is I use Google Drive, and I've entered in every card that is in that box. So it takes time. I write it down when I enter them, name, last name first, as well as the number of cards I have. So Andy Ashby hasn't signed in a while. He'll probably be pulled soonish. I have in this box 23 cards of him. So it helps me give an idea of how many I have. Floyd Bannister, there are 25 cards in there. And it goes all the way down. There's 900 something players in here. Currently 1,004 players, actually. I'm a stat geek, so I keep my own stats. So I started out with 4,900 cards over the 2 boxes. I now have 5,000 in there. So it's gained about 416. I, of course, want to see that number drop and have a negative number there as I empty out my common cards. But as I'm still in the process of organizing all my cards, that number will climb first. I have a number of boxes I still have to go through. But then the question comes, okay, here I have 15 cards of Ron Hodges. How the heck do I know if he's signing? Well, in Sports Collectors, they have a feature where you can make favorite player groups. Sorry. So my favorite player groups, I made one called TTM box. And so I went through and manually added the players. It takes time. And then what that does, if you can see here, is Don Asse. I have like 3 cards of him. It tells you the last time they had a success. That's why SCN is so valuable. Well, one of the many reasons. So in green, anyone who signed within the last month. So I can flip through, flip down. I find a green person. Roger Erickson has signed. The last success was 3 or 4 days ago. So I know, hey, maybe I could write him a letter if I have some cards in my box. I go back to my drive, search for Erickson. Roger Erickson, I have 5 cards, so boom. Now I know he's signing currently, and I have cards of him to pull. So again, this system takes time. You got to be kind of a data entry nut and a statistical nut like I am. But it allows me to know all the cards that I have TTM, where they are, easy to find. Like Jerry Don Gleaton, he's one that I've just started noticing that he signs in the mail, so I haven't really pulled a lot of his cards out, so I only have 1 in there, but I'm hoping through some of my common boxes I have more, and I'll end up sending to him when I finish this project and maybe have 3 or 4 to send. But if I was going to send to Roger Erickson, there's the E's, there's not many, and he's somewhere in here. There's right there, Roger Erickson. So it makes it pretty quick with these 3 combined. I know what cards I have and how many of what players. I know what players are currently signing, thanks to SCN. And then I know through my boxes exactly where to find the cards that I have of them so I can send them out. So this process works pretty good for me. I can't think of a better one, but that's also because I haven't really thought about it. This empty one I'm saving for team cards, which I am again starting to pull from common boxes and stuff, and so anything that I can get multi-signed or just an add-on to a player will go in this last column. But I have, I think, every letter except X, because I can't think of a player whose last name is X. So that's my TTM station and organizational system. I'd love to hear if you guys have some, so post a video or link me to your video on how you organize your TTM, or just comment and let me know that I'm crazy, because something tells me that putting all this work into this is a little bit tapped. So if you need to call me tapped and crazy and, you know, how could you waste so much time doing it? I spent a lot of time and I wasted a lot of time doing it, but it helps me. All right, thanks for the video. Thanks for watching my video. I hope it gave you some ideas on how to organize your collection or organize your cards for TTM. Again, if you have a ton of junk wax 80s and 90s, this might be the way to go to get some of that stuff out of your basement, out of your common boxes, and into the mailbox. Talk to you again soon.